Hey,
Wow.
welcome back to Everything All the Time, brought to you by Effortless, our friends over there in the cloud. And it's a great show today, talking about Prince with Kevin Frazier and talking about things that come your way through the universe.
Yeah, I mean,
Gary Shandling and Prince.
Yeah, it just keeps going. I mean, it's been a hard year for a lot.
Hasn't it?
It's been a really hard year, losing a lot of kind of big iconic names, and it sucks. It sucks when you start realizing that they're not that young. They're not in their 30s or in their 40s. Right. I mean, you think about this back in the 60s. I mean, it was everyone was dying at 27. What was it? Janis Joplin, Jim Morrison,
26, 27.
Yeah, all these people were passing away at that time, and now thank God it's not that. It's people at they're 57. I mean, 57's been a weird number for a lot of people. So
and when somebody died back then, it was always. By the way, speaking of the Doors.
Oh, yeah.
Who was the lead singer of the Doors?
Jim Morrison.
Okay, just checking. Make sure you know. That's probably why they'll never announce that Prince has a resting spot. Because I've been to Jim Morrison's grave in Paris.
It's insane, isn't it?
It's insane. And it's all mangled up and chipped off. And there's still 100 people a day out there.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, the Doors were another one of those bands, but the Doors were
Played
never
right up the street here.
were never really around. I did a show. I did a play right here on Cahuenga, and John Densmore from the Doors used to come to the show. He was good friends with one of the actors in the show, and it was this is back when I still partied a bit. And after the show we would go backstage and we'd all smoke a little something, and one of the first nights it was John Densmore from the Doors, and I was like, oh my God,
all those guys are still around.
I'm smoking pot with John Densmore. And then about the 10th night, I'm like, why is John still here? Why does this guy keep coming by? Doesn't he have weed of his own? Why does he always got to come smoke
like
our
nobody
way?
had weed of their own.
Yeah, I don't know.
That sort of
Anyway.
thing. By the way, a couple of comments here on the screen. Rick, to answer your questions, no, and yes. Connie is one of my students at Columbia College in Chicago, and she's watching or listening. So it's way cool, Connie. Thank you for tuning in. But Rick, no, and yes.
Yes.
And the yes is I'm a NASCAR fan. So Tom Brady's back in the news.
Oh, God.
This was the quarterback of my New England Patriots, number 12. And the big brouhaha about his deflating his footballs down to a certain place where he wanted them. Now, quarterbacks. I know quarterbacks. Quarterbacks have told me since then they all do this.
They all fix
In other words, you get it down so you can grab it.
Well, they have a guy that's their equipment manager guy, and they sit there and they work with the balls to get them exactly like they want them. They have game balls that have their check on them.
Exactly.
And then they are inspected after that by the officials. And evidently, after the officials had inspected him, one of the equipment guys had gone and done a little altering of the football.
But they all do it. I did the NFL today for 10 years.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying
I'd do it, wouldn't you? It's my football.
Yeah, it's my football.
So what this means is they overturned the federal court, so the circuit court will now take it. The 4-game suspension is still on, which means Tom will likely miss, if this happens, it won't, his first home game in 15 years. Gives him another 4 weeks off, like he had last year, then won the Super Bowl. And Galapliano, whoever their backup is, wants to come in and just keep the team steady. But the shows, and here's what I don't understand. Let's say Gary Shandling is your headliner.
Yeah.
And let's say Prince is your headliner.
Right.
Or Glenn Frey.
Right.
Just the names that we brought up.
Yeah.
And you say, we don't want them on. Like, wouldn't you want your star? He is literally the biggest star in the NFL.
I think what it comes down to is you get back into this thing where Roger Goodell and the NFL are so embarrassed that
then why not just fine him?
Well, they did fine him, and I get that, and I just think it should just go away. I mean, at this point,
I was surprised.
Who gives a damn? I mean, it happened 2 years ago. It's not. It has no effect on anything today. It has no effect on anything today. Other than news, it being newsworthy.
It's barely in the news. I mean, even Goodell looks like a fool to me in this.
Well,
it's not. By the way, he works for 32 people, so it's the other
but
teams.
I think he looked like a bigger fool when he had what's his name that basically drug his girlfriend out of the elevator like she was dirty laundry.
In Dallas,
after smacking the hell out of him.
You're talking about
Ray Lewis.
Yeah, no, that wasn't Ray Lewis. Ray Lewis was in the alleged stabbing incident.
Oh, I thought it was Ray. I thought it was Ray Lewis that beat us.
Everything all the time. The show is always prepared for you.
You can tell me write all this down. But the guy, anyway, he smacked her, and he's back in the he's back.
Right.
But he basically, I mean, on video, I mean,
hit her with his fist.
Clocks her.
Right.
I mean, takes her out.
One of the great elevator fights.
Yeah, and then drags her out like UFC 204 of the cage, like it's like he's going to collect a bounty, and it's just. And he's playing in the NFL, and Tom Brady may have let a little bit of air out of a football.
Can you try to find that guy's name?
Yeah,
it would drive me crazy.
Yeah, all right.
Just put elevator.
Yeah, I will.
Now Johnny Manziel, who was the great quarterback out of Texas.
Yeah.
And has had some alcohol problems.
Yeah.
And now he's going to be. He was indicted earlier today.
Yes.
For beating up his girlfriend.
Well,
so
it's
football
another.
Has these issues. They come up over and over. Look, you don't want to put a hand to a woman.
Yes, never.
You are
Ray Rice.
Ray Rice.
Ray Rice. Ray Lewis. Ray Rice. Okay. Yeah.
What does that mean, Jake? I should say that? Oh, okay. That's it. That's our show.
That's our show.
No, I'm joking. Welcome back to Everything All the Time. Pat O'Brien, your national host of WCOBM, and we highlighted it on Dr. Drew last night.
CNN.
And Court McCowan is here, as always. The Kelly Ripa. Are you Kelly or Michael Strahan?
I think I'd be Michael Strahan.
Okay,
because
I'll be Kelly.
You be Kelly because you're the star. You're the big.
Well, I look better than you.
Yeah, 100%. And you have the scandals behind you, which helps.
Yeah, tell me.
No, but
now they got the Johnny Manziel problem, and they'll have to resolve that. He could see a year in jail. This guy was supposed to be the biggest star in the NFL.
Yeah.
But they've got to get a hold of this, figure out their punishment, because you can't punish a guy 4 games for having a softer football. And by the way, no human being on earth could be able to tell the difference.
No, exactly.
And then let Ray Rice go.
Yeah,
and come back and play.
And you have all these things going on, and there's no But the weird thing is not the weird thing, but the interesting thing is it's all in sports now. They're looking at this domestic violence, the Kings had a player last year, and same thing. He got into it with his wife. Dean Lombardi said, "No, you're never coming back," and that's what they're doing, and that's what it should be. If you are convicted of this type of violence, you shouldn't be
out on stage.
You shouldn't be on stage. You shouldn't be on the football
field. And that's what
field.
makes the Tom Brady thing look so petty.
Yes, it is petty. It is complete petty. And I'm a Colts fan. And to say that I think Brady should be in there, I think
you
Brady
guys ratted him out.
Nobody, the officials ratted him out.
No.
Nobody ratted him out. No.
Brought to you by Effortless, by the way. They will not rat you out. And they'll put all your stuff up on the cloud and make it safe and sound for everybody.
It's not really ratting him out if you're guilty.
I enjoyed this show today because we got to talk about three of the most creative people.
Yeah.
If you count me. That's a joke. Come on.
I know.
I guess I should stay out of that. Gary Shandling, of course, and Prince. And
unbelievable.
They put their impact like that. They stamped it on all of our hearts and our souls. I'll see you next week, all right?
Thanks, Pat.
We tried to get Danny Vegas on today. Couldn't reach him. See you next week.
All right.